Hi babies, welcome back to my channel. Currently in the Maldives, or the Maldives, how do you say it? Probably didn't make any sense, but yeah, we are here now. It is stunning.
Imagine scrolling through your social media feed, mesmerized by influencers living the dream, luxury vacations, designer clothes, and seemingly endless wealth. They promise you can achieve the same success with just a few tips or investments. But what if I told you that behind the filters and glamorous posts lies a dark and shocking truth? Today we delve into a case that shocked an entire nation, a tale of deception, greed, and the ultimate downfall. This is the harsh reality behind the filtered perfection. This is the chilling story of Andre Rebelo. Welcome back to Chilling Fireside Stories, and thank you for your continued support. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions mean so much to me and help keep this channel going. Today's case is as complex as it is heartbreaking. We'll explore the life of Andre Rebelo, a man whose actions left a devastating impact on his family and shocked all of Australia. This story involves sensitive topics, so viewer discretion is strongly advised. Now grab a warm drink and let's begin. Andre Rebelo, a 26-year-old cryptocurrency trader from Perth, Western Australia, was living what seemed to be a charmed life. To outsiders, he appeared successful, ambitious, and financially stable. He lived with his partner, Gracie Piscopo, and their young son. The couple met in 2015 when Andre was just 19. From the start, he was enamored with Gracie's drive and determination. Her unwavering belief in her eventual success was inspiring, and it paid off as her social media audience grew steadily, bringing in a substantial income. Gracie's journey to becoming an influencer was marked by dramatic changes. Before her rise to fame, she worked as a gym receptionist. When she began sharing photos online, her life transformed, earning her around $170,000 annually. Andre, amazed by the rapid changes in Gracie's lifestyle, decided to leave university to become her assistant. He managed her finances, negotiated contracts, and chose lucrative opportunities, earning $20,000 annually in this role. With 1 million Instagram followers, 300,000 YouTube subscribers, and brand deals flooding her DMs, Gracie's feed was the epitome of social media dreams. Professional modeling shots that looked straight out of Vogue, aesthetically pleasing family vlogs, and luxury lifestyle content made many green with envy. Their home radiated main character energy with its grand fireplace and designer furniture. A pristine white Range Rover Evoque in the driveway, and her #blessed posts portrayed the perfect life. Meanwhile, Andre was busy building his image as a cryptocurrency mastermind. He was the guy constantly posting bold market predictions and boasting about his potential for astronomical returns. While he managed Gracie's social media empire behind the scenes, his true persona was that of a crypto enthusiast, always flaunting his supposed ability to turn market swings into six-figure profits. He filled feeds with talk of financial freedom and passive income, portraying himself as the ultimate guru on the subject. After the birth of their child, the baby also became part of their content, allowing Gracie to market baby products and further expand her audience. On the other hand, Andre's mother, Colleen Rebelo, was skeptical about his choices. She thought her son should pursue a stable career that he could rely on for years. Colleen doubted the longevity of social media careers and worried about the possibility of new influencers overshadowing them. She often expressed these concerns to a close friend, fearing that Andre had given up his education for an uncertain future. Colleen Rebelo, a devoted 58-year-old mother of Julian, Monique, Andre, and Fabian, found herself single-handedly raising her children after a messy divorce in 2010. She refused to simply get by. Instead, she worked multiple jobs, grinding through night shifts at cafes while pursuing a master's degree. Her goal was clear. She wanted her children to learn, grow, and achieve more. Despite the challenges, Colleen's hard work was paying off. Just 2 weeks before tragedy struck, she landed a significant job with the health department, marking the culmination of years of relentless effort. Despite battling Hashimoto's disease, an autoimmune condition affecting the thyroid, Colleen was living her best life. She maintained regular workouts, ate healthily, and was the mom who showed up for everything and everyone in her children's lives. Colleen's life was a testament to resilience and determination. She raised her children with unwavering love and support, always striving to provide them with the best opportunities. As she embarked on this new chapter in her career, Colleen's family saw a bright future ahead. However, they could never have anticipated the events that would soon unfold and shatter their world. On the morning of May 25, 2020, the day seemed ordinary. Colleen started the day as usual, spoke with her children, some of whom still lived with her. Her youngest son, Fabian, relied on her to drive him to his part-time job at a nearby supermarket. Her daughter, Monique, was temporarily staying with Colleen while training as a paramedic, as her mother's house was closer to her school. At 10 a.m., Colleen dropped Fabian off at work with plans to pick him up at 2 p.m. In the meantime, Andre's behavior was suspicious that day. He was supposed to be having lunch with Gracie and her cousin who was visiting, but he simply disappeared without a word. Between 11:10 and 11:25 a.m., Gracie, concerned, called his phone 12 times in 15 minutes and sent him multiple text messages. But then Andre casually walked in at 2 p.m. as if nothing had happened. No explanation, no apology. He just strolled in and asked where they wanted to go for lunch. Before heading out, he sent a message to his mom, asking if she could babysit his son later or the next day, claiming he had errands to run. But Colleen wasn't answering. At the same time, Fabian finished his shift and was waiting for Colleen to pick him up at 2 p.m. but his mother never arrived. Worried, he called her 13 times but there was no answer. Walking home took him only about 10 to 15 minutes, but anxiety gnawed at him. Such an incident had never happened before. Colleen had always been punctual and Fabian couldn't shake the feeling that something was seriously wrong. As he entered their home, he heard the shower running. Assuming it was his mother, he called out to her but received no response. Concerned, he called out several more times before deciding to check the bathroom. Upon opening the door, Fabian was met with a distressing sight. His mother was kneeling on the floor, leaning against the wall and unresponsive. Acting quickly, Fabian pulled her out of the shower, covered her with a towel and called emergency services. Despite his attempts at first aid, Colleen felt cold to the touch, with a strange bluish-gray discoloration on her face and neck. Fabian performed CPR until paramedics arrived, but it was too late. Colleen had passed away and there was nothing more they could do. Devastated, Fabian messaged his sister Monique, urging her to come home immediately. He also tried to contact his brother Andre but received no reply. Monique returned home around 3 p.m. and began calling and texting Andre, who eventually arrived with Gracie and their son. The entire family was in shock. That morning, Colleen had seemed perfectly fine. Even an autopsy couldn't determine the exact cause of her death. Struggling to accept the notion of natural causes, Fabian and Monique noticed several details that didn't add up. Colleen had been wearing her wristwatch and jewelry, items she always removed before showering. Additionally, the anti-slip mat she always used was draped over the side of the bathtub. Police found no signs of forced entry and every window and door was secured. Despite the strange circumstances, the family had to accept the conclusion of natural causes. But everything changed a few weeks later when an insurance company contacted the police, suspecting attempted fraud. The documents submitted were believed to be forged, and the suspect was none other than Andre. Just 1 week before Colleen's death, Andre had taken out 3 life insurance policies in her name, totaling $1.15 million, with himself as the sole beneficiary. None of Colleen's other children were named. 3 days after her death, Andre contacted all 3 insurance companies to claim the payout. 2 companies refused due to the brief time between policy activation and Colleen's death. The 3rd company, however, required additional documents, and that's when the inconsistencies began to surface. One document listed Colleen's birth date as Andre's instead. The documents Andre provided only raised more red flags. The insurance company eventually uncovered forged medical reports, including a fabricated autopsy stating Colleen had died from a ruptured aneurysm causing a subarachnoid hemorrhage, meaning a burst blood vessel in her brain, causing severe bleeding. Andre had also falsified Colleen's will, naming himself the sole heir to her estate. To top it off, he submitted an altered psychiatric report claiming Colleen was mentally fit when she signed the documents. He went so far as to use artificial intelligence to generate an audio recording that wouldn't sound like his own voice. Despite his considerable effort in the deception, the insurance company grew increasingly suspicious and alerted the authorities. When confronted, Andre claimed his mother had been fully aware of his actions and had requested his help in securing their financial future. He explained that naming him the sole beneficiary was so he could later divide the money equally among his siblings. However, police found his story hard to believe. The altered will and life insurance policies, paired with the timing of Colleen's death, made them wonder if Andre had played a role in her demise. The family was shocked to learn about the additional life insurance policies in the will. Why would their mother have done this? She had never shown favoritism toward any of her children. It was especially hard to understand why she would leave her entire estate to Andre. They believed that if it came to inheritance matters, the oldest son, Julian, would naturally take charge. Consequently, Julian decided to move into Colleen's house temporarily to settle everything. But when he tried to locate her documents, he realized he couldn't find her driver's license anywhere. Andre said he had taken them to handle the inheritance matters. Julian also learned that Andre had redirected all their mother's mail to his own address, despite the house not being empty. Suspicion around Colleen's death continued to grow. Could her son really have killed her for over $1 million? Colleen's children, along with Gracie and others connected to Colleen, were re-interviewed. Colleen's sister testified that on the day Colleen died, she saw a car in the driveway she didn't recognize. Later, at her sister's funeral, she saw the same vehicle and noticed Andre and his partner getting into it. This meant that Andre was at Colleen's house that day, a fact he hadn't mentioned to his siblings. When police asked Andre why he hadn't informed anyone that he saw his mother on the day of her death, he replied that no one had asked him. He said he had been at her house for about 45 to 50 minutes, roughly between 10:40 and 11:30 a.m. He claimed she was stressed about turning 60 and preoccupied with the passage of time, which was why she wanted to purchase additional insurance policies. He also mentioned that she hinted at contemplating taking her own life. Investigators, increasingly convinced that Andre was involved in his mother's death, needed concrete evidence. They decided to place surveillance devices in Andre and Gracie's home. During a search, they installed a listening device in the bedroom and a camera in the living room. For 3 months, the police monitored their conversations. From these recordings, it became clear that Gracie knew nothing about the insurance policies Andre had taken out. She was furious, aware that a scandal of this magnitude could damage her reputation and cause her to lose sponsors. Gracie reminded Andre that if he had indeed killed his mother and the truth came out, he would face a prison sentence. There is no suggestion of wrongdoing on Gracie's part. Andre remained confident that he would successfully claim the insurance money and avoid imprisonment, planning to leave the country as soon as the funds were transferred to him. But why would Andre do this in the first place? Despite their seemingly lavish lifestyle, investigators discovered that everything presented on social media was a facade. The grand house they lived in was rented for $880 a week, and the white Range Rover frequently featured in their photos was purchased on finance. Most of their luxurious trips and hotel stays were sponsored by advertisers. In reality, Gracie and Andre were living beyond their means, spending more than they earned. The couple had debts amounting to $120,000 and were behind on rent payments and car installments. Gracie also had overdue taxes totaling $40,000, which she was unaware of because Andre managed their finances. He assured Gracie that their cryptocurrency investments would eventually pay off, but after 3 years Andre had only earned $22 from it. Desperate, Andre saw life insurance as a way to resolve their financial problems. In November 2022, Andre was charged with his mother's murder and got arrested. The trial, which began in October 2024 and lasted 8 weeks, laid bare the stark contrast between the image Andre had cultivated and the horrifying reality. The evidence painted a chilling picture of deception and cold-blooded calculation. Andre's attempts to cover his tracks only served to tighten the noose around him as the truth came to light. Detective Sergeant Jason Hutchinson presented evidence about Andre's laptop searches and deleted history, revealing the calculated nature of his actions. On December 5, 2024, the jury took just 2 days to reach their verdict: guilty. Andre showed no emotion as his fate was sealed. His father, Antonio, watching from the gallery, called it sad and disappointing. Andre now faces life in prison with sentencing set for early 2025. His actions have torn apart not just one family but two. His siblings lost both their mother and their brother. Gracie lost her partner and the father of her child. Their son, Romeo, will grow up knowing the devastating truth about his father. Gracie has since found someone new, someone who genuinely cares for both her and Romeo. While she still deals with the trauma of discovering what her child's father was capable of, she is trying to move forward despite the harsh media coverage. It's clear that she is another victim in this tragedy, her life forever changed by Andre's desperate choices. The cruel irony of Colleen Rebelo's story cuts deep. She spent her life creating real opportunities for her children through hard work and education. In the end, she was betrayed by a son who chose fake success over genuine achievement, deadly deception over honest work. Her true legacy lives on through Julian, Monique, and Fabian, who carry both their mother's memory and an unimaginable burden, knowing their own brother orchestrated her death. They choose to remember Colleen for how she lived, not how she died. This case stands as a dark warning about the gap between filtered perfection and harsh reality, illustrating how the pressure to maintain a picture-perfect life can lead down unthinkable paths. But more than that, it reminds us that behind every shocking headline is a real family shattered by loss, real lives forever changed, and a mother whose story deserved so much more than its tragic end. Thank you for joining me in exploring the tragic and unsettling case of Andre Rebelo. Stories like this remind us of the importance of vigilance, compassion, and the need to hold those who betray our trust accountable. If you found this video informative, please like, comment, and subscribe to Chilling Fireside Stories. Your support helps me continue to share stories that matter. Until my next video, stay informed, stay safe, and look after your loved ones.